Well, Wednesday Insights video takes you out through the upcoming weekend in depth so you can make your plans. Here's what I'm going to cover in the video today. No big storms ahead. A few weak disturbances, though. The one tonight into tomorrow I talked more about in Noyes' notes and 1 degree outside today. There's a clipper system that comes in Friday night into Saturday. We'll take a look at the timing and an early accumulation map for that. Much colder and windy on Sunday, then warmer again for the middle part of next week with some 40s and 50s returning for the first week of March. So some ups and downs temperature-wise. Meanwhile, I want to give a shout out to all our Patreon members. Let me step out of the way here. We've added the newbies on here too. Thank you so much for your support. Many of you choosing the inside track so you get access to our podcast and our live streams, exclusive content. Shout out too to our 1 degree outside champion, Gate City Reflexology and Massage up in Nashua, New Hampshire. Whole body wellness. Just head on over to gatecitymassage.com. Reach out to Bobby Lynn to get your appointment booked. If you want more information on our 4 different membership tiers, Fuel the Forecast, the Inside Track, 1 degree outside enthusiasts, and 1 degree outside champions, just head on over to patreon.com/1 degree outside for more information. All right, let's dive in here. And we are talking about a fairly quiet country today overall in terms of the weather, with a few different weak disturbances. Ones that's coming into the Pacific Northwest and some rain and snow showers, mixed snow showers coming into the Great Lakes. That's what's headed east for us for tonight into tomorrow. But you know I like to take a look at atmospheric energy in the atmosphere to track things. And I want to go up towards the poles, up near the Arctic Ocean, north and northeast of Alaska, actually, because this little ball of energy, see where I'm pointing right here? With the oranges and the yellows, watch what happens to this. So some Arctic energy near the poles is going to dive south through Canada. It's going to link up with a little bit of energy coming out of the Great Lakes and will spread east. That's our weather maker, quick moving disturbance that comes in Friday night and Saturday. Then it opens the door to cold air that comes in behind it. So that's our next weather maker as we head into the upcoming weekend. As low pressure departs during the day tomorrow, behind it we get some colder air that comes in temporarily, particularly in northern New England. Here's our fast-moving clipper, so snow spreading into the Midwest and the Great Lakes Thursday night into Friday. Fairly quiet across the remainder of the country with high pressure in control. There's that low pressure pushing through the Northeast during the day on Saturday and cold air coming in behind it. So predicted radar and clouds, we're going to zoom in here across New England. And I do think areas of snow will move in from west to east 10 p.m. to midnight on Friday, give or take. And keep in mind, this is Wednesday, so we need a little bit of wiggle room here in terms of that exact timing. You notice by Saturday morning, it's light snow in many areas, northern central New England, even northern Massachusetts. But there's a warm front, like so many cases this time this winter, where we get some relatively milder air that comes in, changes things over to rain. By the time we get to early to mid-morning on Saturday, still some pockets of snow lingering the farther north you go, a lingering rain shower as the actual cold front comes in Saturday afternoon, and then some upslope snow showers will add some additional snow in the mountains. As that low departs, we get colder air that comes in for Saturday night and Sunday. So you are going to feel the difference, and I'll show you some of the high temperature maps, what a change that we have coming in. Now, you also know I like to take a look at sometimes the temperature above our heads. Specifically at 6,000 feet. That's called the 850 millibar temperature. And I've got the red line on here, which shows the 32 degree Fahrenheit line, so the freezing line, because you're going to notice that on Friday night and into Saturday, we do get some relatively milder air at the mid-levels of the atmosphere that comes into particularly southern New England. That's why north of that, likely all snow, but we have to take a look at the surface too. You notice the deep purples that come in behind that system, by the way. So the surface temperature is important as well. And we do get the cold air that comes in behind the system, but ahead of it, we do drag in some warmth. So on Saturday, notice that freezing line goes all the way up into portions of central and even northern New England in some of the valleys. So it is going to be a marginal event. Then look what happens behind it. Where's the coldest spot across the country Saturday night and Sunday? Oh, yeah, it's right here in New England. And that will be the case heading into the start of next week with actually relatively warm air across much of the remainder of the nation here at home, Sunday and Monday, the coldest days. And then that cold will ease heading into the middle part of next week. And we get some warmth that comes back into play You'll notice the deeper yellows here that really are up and down the eastern seaboard for the middle part of the week. So some 40s and 50s do return after a snap of cold air. So early snow thoughts for Friday night and into Saturday. Now, we will need some wiggle room in this map because we're a few days out, but I just want to give you an early ballpark here. Similar to this next one that's coming in, though, tonight into tomorrow, Northern New England, the jackpot, where it's likely a widespread 2 to 4. That being said, I do think the mountains with elevation and the upslope on the backside will end up with some locally higher amounts. It's going to be a sharp cutoff, too, on the southern side, more like 1 to 2. Northern Berkshires, perhaps with elevation, northern Massachusetts, southern New Hampshire, and then it's really just a coating to an inch, some of which, after coming off highs that are warm or above freezing on Friday and into Saturday as the temperature jumps up, will melt away pretty quickly. So it's a fairly minor event, but there will be some accumulation and some slick spots possible Friday night and into early on Saturday. So we'll keep you posted on that. All right, high temperatures for our Thursday. Upper 30s to the north, 40s to 50 in southern New England. The wind kicks up. We'll take a look at the wind in a second, too. Thursday night, we drop back into the 20s to low 30s. So the melting refreeze process that we talked about earlier this week, continuing in spots. So just be mindful. The really thin spots of ice, too, you see, freeze easier. So, sidewalks, driveways, things like that, any untreated surfaces. Friday, 20s to the north to lower 30s. But still a pretty seasonable day overall. Good amount of sunshine to start the day, increase in clouds. We still go into the low to mid 40s in much of southern New England. And then Saturday, wait a sec, we're starting with snow in the morning. And then, yes, look at this. Temperatures are going to be shooting up into the 40s to lower 50s in southern New England. Caribou says 21. That may be a little bit generous. So it's going to be in the teens in portions of northern Maine, 20s, 30s, 40s, and some 50s. Such a wide range in temperatures across New England on Saturday, and that's because of that warm front lifting north. So any snow in the morning, even if it's like very briefly, will melt away, and we get improvement over the course of morning to midday with snow lingering longest in the far north country. Treated surfaces okay. Sunday, woo, what a difference. Teens and 20s, maybe 30, and the wind's going to be kicking up on top of that. So for some spots, it's going to be over 20 degrees colder on Sunday, a noticeable change. And then when you factor in the wind chills in the single digits and teens on Sunday afternoon, it'll be kind of similar on Monday too. Last thing I want to end with is predicted wind gusts. I'm not overly concerned in the coming days, but I do want to show you that on Friday, the wind generally out of the west-northwest, not a damaging wind, but we'll see some gusts 30 to 40 miles per hour, and it will be cooler than the last several days. And with that wind, definitely a little bit of a brisk feel. Friday evening and night, that wind relaxes. That'll be the case to start on Saturday, and then the wind kicks up out of a different wind direction on Saturday, out of the south. So that's why it drags in that warmer air for much of southern and even central New England. Some gusts that will top out 20 to 30, maybe 35 miles per hour on the Cape. And then as the cold front crosses, we shift the wind around again out of the northwest. So Saturday late in the day, Saturday night into Sunday, gusts 20 to 35 miles per hour, maybe some gusts to top out near 40 on Sunday afternoon, adding that bite to the air as the colder air streams back as well. Of course, you can track it all on our app. Pinpoint your location, free on the App Store and Google Play. All of the weather information, current conditions, hourly forecast, 14-day forecast too. By the way, if you haven't checked out Matt's pattern predictions from earlier this week, that is the 14-day, but he takes a look at it in depth through the middle part of March. Send to us tab on the bottom there as well. Of course, social media and our website. You can always find all of our weather information, onedegreeoutside.com.